everyone. My name is Sarah, and today we will discuss the first SDG, No Poverty. This goal aims to end poverty in all forms within every community. Every person deserves a decent standard of living through basic necessities.
To eradicate poverty, there needs to be a sense of justice within a community to fix it. There are programs in every country to aid families and individuals who live in poor conditions. Yet, nearly half of the world's population lives in poverty. There is a lack of food, clean water, and safe infrastructures. Despite the high successful rates of improving poverty since the 1990s, 738 million people live below the international poverty line of 197 yen or $1.90 a day in 2015. That's 10% of the world's population. Meeting the United Nations objectives to reduce poverty was already off track. In 2010, professionals thought we had a 15.7% chance of succeeding by 2030. Because of the 2020 COVID pandemic, this reduced to 6% by 2030. An additional 71 million people were pushed into extreme poverty.
In Japan, there was actually no poverty lines since there were no accurate figures to determine impoverished conditions. It wasn't until 2012 when the Welfare Ministry finally requested a poverty index.
By 2013, the Japanese poverty rate stood at 15.7%, referring to a household's income being less than half of the population's median. In the U.S., the poverty rate is 10.5% and continues to decline. As of 2021, 10 million people in Japan live on less than 2 million yen or $19,200 a year. It is said that 500,000 citizens have lost their jobs due to COVID complications. Many experts have claimed that the middle class is disappearing. Following the economic boom in the 1980s, the 90s saw stagnation and deflation called the lost decade. The global recession in the late 2000s harmed Japan's economy, which increased infrastructure spending hikes and yen devaluations. As of 2020, Japan has the fifth largest economy after China, USA, European Union, and India. The United Nations Children's Fund reported that Japan has one of the highest child poverty rates amongst 41 industrialized countries. Out of the 41 nations, with number 1 having the lowest child poverty and number 41 being the highest, Japan ranked 34th.
When I first moved to Japan in 2018, I was deeply surprised by the poverty statistics. I question whether I am able to retire when I'm older, and I constantly worry about my financial stability while living here.
As of 2019, the average monthly salary for one person is 264,000 yen or $2,541, while the U.S. average is at 385,700 yen or $3,724. This amount increases if a person has higher education. Although I have a university degree, I personally wouldn't be able to support myself while living in Japan without my spouse's help. So why does Japan, a place known worldwide for its high-speed bullet trains and advanced technology, have a poverty crisis? There are many reasons. The seniority-based wage scale is common for companies to increase wages based on a person's age in the lifetime employment system. One of my family members finds this frustrating. Sometimes, his company hires someone who has less experience than him, but automatically gets higher pay because of their age. This system prevents a top 1% earner, unlike Western countries. Part-time employment is rising. With the average salary being low, many women with children and elderly workers have little pension to enjoy retirement. In 2020, the government approved a law to raise the retirement age to 70 years old. An American can start receiving their early retirement benefits at 62 years old. Birth rates are decreasing. Increasing costs for rent and food while living on a minimum wage makes it challenging to raise children. In addition, Japan has the highest proportion of elderly citizens in the world above 60 years old. It's projected that the overall population will reduce by 24% by 2050. Many foreigners who live in Japan have noticed the media does not talk about poverty and homelessness often. There's an overall attitude to ignore it.
Changes to fix Japan's poverty isn't simple. When the previous Prime Minister Shinzo Abe held office, he attempted to make the labor market more performance-based. Expectedly, businesses and management hesitated to change from the old ways. Some programs, such as the Japan Fund for Poverty Reduction, focuses on assisting projects in poor areas and increasing job opportunities by teaching technical skills. Other organizations, like the Children's Cafeteria, provide free or reduced-priced meals to children.
Would you be surprised to know that over half of Sasebo household income falls below the national average? According to Lilful Homes, a website for property information, the average yearly salary for a Japanese household combined is 5 million yen, or $48,100, while Sasebo's average is 4.3 million yen, or $41,299. In my home state, Indiana, the average yearly income for a household is 5.7 million yen, or $56,000. It is the 35th poorest state in America, so that means 34 other states have higher income. Washington, D.C. is the richest area, where the average household income is 8.7 million yen, or $85,000. 46.4% of Sasebo residents make less than 3 million yen, and 28.2% make between 3 million to 5 million yen. There are many comments from Sasebo residents who have voiced their concerns about the poverty in the city. They are worried about childcare when they need to work, lack of support, and families who are isolated. While some citizens cook warm meals for children in need, there are occasional events held by food banks for children to eat.
By 2030, the United Nations has targets to eradicate extreme poverty everywhere. This can be accomplished through social protection systems, ensure equal rights to basic services and resources, reduce exposure to climate-related events, and create stable policy frameworks. These are very ambitious targets. To achieve any of these, ending poverty begins with respecting human rights.